they start off the interview by asking you, tell me about yourself. They will ask this by saying, tell me about yourself. Or they might say, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? How would you describe yourself? Can you walk me through your background? What should I know about you? How do you usually introduce yourself? Okay. This is about, gives you time, about 30 to 45 seconds to focus about speaking on your background skills and your goals, not personal details. This isn't to say, hi, my name is Gabriella, and I love to go to the beach, and I like to swim, and I'm a good cook. No. This is about you talking about this. So, well, I've been a teacher for over 15 years. I have worked with adults in adult education programs and at university level. I also have worked with students from kindergarten to 12th grade in public schools. As well, I also write curriculum and materials for a variety of organizations. That's letting them know about me, okay? Nothing about what I like and who I am personally, professionally. So you can use this document to write your response. Why do you want to work here? They might say, what attracted you to this company? Why did you apply for this position? What interests you about this job? What made you choose our organization? Why do you think you're a good fit for this role? Okay. Tip here. Practice linking company facts. Okay. Meaning, if you're going to interview at a company, do some research, go on their website. I remember when I applied for the VRABE job, I went on their website and I was like, oh my gosh. First, I wanted to be an ESL teacher here at the program, but I was like, oh my gosh, they have so many programs. They have a writing workshop. They have a CNA class. They have all these different programs that other adult ed programs didn't offer. So when I went to speak at the interview and they asked me what attracted me to the program, I was like, of course I'm attracted to this position, but I'm amazed at all that you offer and I want to be a part of it. And that's the truth. I love this job because there's so much that we offer our students. And that is a great way, is by I already was researching them. I knew who the director was. I knew who the assistant director was that was going to be in the interview. Also, you might, when they call you to interview, you might say, and how many people will the interview be with? And they might say 2, and you could say, can you tell me who they are? And they might say, this is this person and this person. So you know who's going to be in the interview. They might ask you, what are your strengths? Or they might say, same thing, same question. What do you do best? What are your top skills? What can you bring to this job? How would your coworkers describe your strengths? What makes you a strong candidate? Use examples. I'm organized. For example, at my last job, I create a system to track file deadlines. I would say what I do best is getting to know each student and being able to listen to their story, and as I'm teaching, connect things to them. Or what are my top skills? I am very good at creating materials and curriculum based on any need for the school or organization. That, and then you could say, and I can bring this to you, and I can do this for you. So here you can also take time to write your response. What are your weaknesses? This is a trick question, kind of not. They want to know 2 things. Are you self-aware? Do you know some of the areas that you're not really strong in. Okay. This is not a time for you to say, I can't do this and this and that. No, no. Pick like one or two things and share it. So what is something you could like to improve on? What is one skill you're working on? Tell me about an area where you've grown. What would you say is a challenge for you? What's something you're trying to be better at? Focus on growth. And I'll be honest, you all know it because I'm talking to you right now. Many of you have been with me in a variety of workshops, and I talk fast. What? Me? Never. Oh, yes, I do. I am such a fast talker. I don't know why. I don't know how this is my life. So I would say to them, I would say something I continually work to improve upon is to talk slower. I try to slow down. I sometimes remind myself to wait and give the students more time to respond. And also, I always encourage the students to say, teacher or Gabriella, can you repeat that? Or can you please slow down? This is something I'm constantly working on. Done. I show them this is an area of weakness, and I show that I'm trying to work on it, and I explained how I work on it. Okay? So this would be a great, great example. Think about something. This is not the time to say, well, I can't really organize things. No. Think about something you can say. Tell me about your work experience. They say that, or they say, can you describe your previous jobs? Walk me through your work history. What kind of work have you done before? What experience do you have in this field? Where have you worked in the past? Practice using past tense verbs and connecting duties and skills. I worked as a cashier. I learned how to handle money and talk to customers. What you did and what you know how to do. Okay? This is interesting. They'll always say, can you give me an example of a time when? Describe a time when you solved a problem. Tell me a situation when you worked under pressure. Give me an example of how you handled a difficult customer. Can you share a story about that shows your teamwork skills? How did you handle a challenge at work? Teamwork skills. I might say, well, I created a weekly workshop and I designed it for students to be able to come when they're available. And then my coworker, Kathy, brought her class. And we work as a team. She lets me lead the class because it's my class. And I ask her and encourage her and welcome her to jump in and explain things for her students if I'm not if she thinks that they need to be elaborated on more, or if she wants to add something. That's how we're teamwork. That shows team. Talk about a situation, a task, an action, and a result. This can help you, the STAR method. Oh, they love this one to ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? This is another tricky question. You're like, what do I say? What do I say? What are your career goals? They might ask. How do you see your future? What do you hope to achieve in the next 5 years? What's your long-term plan? Where do you hope this job will take you? Express verbally to show interest in growth and stability. But you do not always want to say, well, I think I'll be here for 1 year and then I'll get another job. Oh no, they're not going to want to keep you. This is a time where you want to explain that you're interested in staying here, but that you are interested in possibly learning, and you can always say to move up to another position. Do you prefer to work alone or in a team? They might ask. Are you more of a team player or an independent worker? How do you feel about teamwork? Do you enjoy working with others? What's your working style? How do you collaborate with coworkers? Here is where you emphasize a balance. I like working with a team, but I can also stay focused and work independently. Almost done here, guys. Why should we hire you? They might say, what makes you the best candidate? Why do you think you're right for this job? What can you offer that others might not? How can you contribute to our team? What value would you bring to the company? This is when you're confident but not arrogant, like, well, this is when you go back to the company that they are. Well, I see that you are looking for an English teacher that can work remotely and partner with students and be available at such and such times. That's being arrogant. Well, I'm the best. Just look at my resume. That's arrogant. Go back to what can you bring them and show that you know that you will be a good person for them, a good fit. They want a good fit, like your shoe, okay? My shoe's an 8.5. I can't wear a 9, it's too big. I can't wear an 8. Oh no, my feet are gonna hurt. They're looking for the fit. It's not always about it, and you can have, there are other great teachers out there. I'm not the only great teacher. Kathy's not the only great teacher, right? We can go for interviews. What's the right fit? Do they like how you speak? Do they like how you answer questions? Do they like that you're a team player? They want the right size for them. Companies are becoming more and more about what works with them. Well, she seems nice, and I think she'll be a good part of this team, and she'll listen and help other people. Or she'll work really good with the students. They want to fit. Oh, guys, I got to say, I'm really kind of proud of that shoe thing. That just came off my right off the top of my head. The last thing they'll ask you is, do you have any questions for us? What would you like to ask us? Is there anything you'd like to know about this job? Do you have any questions before we finish? Would you like me to explain anything more? What would you like to know about the company? Here is where you prepare polite questions, curious questions like, does a typical day look like? Can you describe your company culture? What are the next steps in the hiring process?